Is the floor plan of the elevation that we're going to be working on right now. And what you're going to notice right here, you have a window here and a window here, and then you have two windows over here. Okay, they're all 3-foot windows, so I try to keep it all the same to keep things really simple. The next thing you see is there's a door and there's a 2-foot window next to it. And this section pushes out. This section pushes out. Now, as we continue to look at that, we have a dimension. I gave you a dimension going from the outside of the structure to the other outside of the structure, and that distance is 42 feet, 0 inches, okay? Now, let me show you what the elevation looks like. So the elevation, as we take a look at this right now, is essentially the related elevation. So what's happening right now, as we take a look at this, as we take a look at it, we see something going on here. And one thing you're going to see, you're going to notice, is that in this drawing right here, there is a thick, dark line that defines this section right here. And the reason there's a thick, dark line is because that section is pushing out towards you. Okay, do you understand that? Does that make sense? Okay, so what's going on with that right now is we counted 2 windows, there they are. Then we counted 2 windows over here, there they are. We had a door, and we had a window next to it. So it's all right there, all the features are right there. They all align with your first floor plan. I simplified it a bit, but in this particular floor plan, you got some things that you're going to have everything you need to go ahead and do this. One of the things I did is I actually told you what your hatching should be, because this is called hatching. Hatching is when you just have a pattern that is used to fill a certain boundary. And then you also have right here, you have another pattern for this. These are shingles. And another pattern right here, which is for brick. So we have all that. And so that's basics. Okay, the next thing I've got is the only kind of standard dimension I have is I have this right here, which is 21 feet 8 3/4 or so, and that's the very tip. All right, so basically to get that, what we would do, we know what the we basically can figure out the rest of it right there, but that's what the top of that dimension is right there. So we can figure these different dimensions out by going to here. Here is this line right here, and so that comes right up to here. And so we're able to, you'll be able to factor it all out. If I need to give you more dimensions, I will, but I think you can figure it all out from here. So this is 3'6", this is 3'6", this is 7. So if you add those up, you get 14 feet. So to get that peak, you would go over to the middle here, which is 7 feet, and you go up this 21 foot, 8 3/4, and that would give you that peak right there. So that's one way to do it. There's a couple ways I could have had given dimensions, but that's one way to get this solved. So this is an elevation, and down at the bottom, you're going to notice that there are what are called hidden lines. Now a hidden line is a line that is essentially not visible to you, and these are underground, so therefore they're hidden. So if you were to take a look at the structure right now, these would be hidden to view. And so what you have is a hidden line right here. This is one of the walls. This is the wall that makes up the side of this porch right here, so that's also a wall right there. And then you have another wall over on this side, and those are dashed. And that dashed distance is actually something that you will control, and you can actually work with that in your drawing. Then you notice also that these basement walls go into the ground right here. This is 10 inches wide. This is a foot wide. It's a larger wall, and now it's 10 inches wide. And then going down here, you have a 4-inch cement cap, and then you have an 8-inch footing that goes down here. And then that is basically what you got for your floor plan here. So that is what we're going to be working with. And again, I simplified this. In reality, it wouldn't be quite this clean, but I thought let's just keep it straight. Any questions about this right here? All right, because there's going to be. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do some stuff here. First of all, you're going to be wondering, okay, how do I put in a line tub? We're going to look at that. How do I do hatching? We're going to look at that. And then the next thing that we've got here is going down to here. There's a couple items that I have on a second sheet, and that is this window right here. You got a fan window here, and you got a chimney. And so I'm going to give you details for those items so that you guys can draw that all up. So this one is going to be pretty straightforward. Again, it ties into the other one. There's not as many dimensions. In some ways, it may be easier for you, but it depends upon how you're wired and how you like a challenge. But that's what we're going to work on right here. So this is the next drawing we're going to work on right here. So I did want to talk about a couple things here, and that is how we start drawings. And a couple things here, as we got into this, I've seen, as I've looked through the drawings, I've seen a couple things that have gone on here. And the first thing is, just to be clear about this, You always want to use a template when you're starting a drawing. I'm going to go over this again because I've noticed that some of you aren't doing it. And let me do this right now. I'm going to close out of these. I'm going to get these later. All right. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start a new drawing. And so I go here.
We can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Right here. Thanks for saying that. And here we are. So what I would do is I would, I want to use the front elevation style field. So I'm probably going to have to download a template. Let me get through the process here. Let me go ahead.